we discuss issues and programs and plans of Dr. Alex Otti if he emerges governor of Abia State. It's been a while this program held, but thank God today is another day where we are going to review what has been happening in the Alex Otti campaign organization, and then look and discuss other very trending issues that are on board. And as always, I have with me in the studio the spokesperson of the Dr. Alex Otti campaign organization in the person of Mr. Ferdinand Ekoma. Ferdinand, you're welcome.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And my name remains Emenike Irebu, the anchor of this program, Time Out with Dr. Alex Otti's team. So Ferdinand, thank you so much. It's been a while we've not interacted. But thank God today we are here to discuss and to review what has been happening to your campaign and to your governorship candidate for a little while now.
Thank you, Uncle Man. Good things have been happening, great things have been happening. We have intensified our campaigns. For weeks now, we've been on a tour of the 17 local governments. We've covered 4 local governments of Abia North, remaining 1 local government. We've covered most local governments. Okay, now we've covered all the local governments of Abia Central, because we've done Salangwa North and South, done Osisioma, done Omahia North South, and of course Iguano. So we've covered Omahia Central, done 4 local governments of Abia North. We are intensifying our speed, and in the next few days we will be in Abia North, Abia South, and the rest of it. We'll just tidy up very soon, and it has been very rewarding. It has been very fantastic. It has been very impressive. The outings have been very great. The feedbacks, the responses, the reactions are just massive. So we're excited. The campaigns have been going very smoothly, devoid of hitches, and we are convinced that we're making great inroads. And wherever we go, we see the love, the support, the solidarity of our people. So we're doing well.
Okay, I observed one particular thing, unlike the campaigns of the 2015 or the 2019. This campaign this time around seems to be more of interactions and town hall meetings. Sure. Why? What's the difference?
The difference here is that in the past, we had done more of rallies.
Yes, rallies, yes.
More of rallies, very elaborate rallies. But as it's normal, we have become more experienced, even though that those rallies in the past were impactful, we won elections, but then we want to get to the grassroots, to the fullest. Because when you do rallies, people are brought out, usually brought out from the different nooks and crannies. They gather at a particular place for such a rally. But this one, the difference is this. We now go to the communities to see the people. We enter, penetrate every nook and cranny to meet and interact with the people. Different groups. We meet with traditional rulers, we meet with community people, with stakeholders, with party people. We still do rallies, but not the way it used to be. Because after everything, we round off by having our supporters, party people gather at a particular environment and speak to them, address them. But we didn't have a situation where in the past where you have maybe enough time for people to ask questions, good questions. So from the onset, from the formation of the campaign council, we took a decision that the challenges in Abia have become more humongous than it used to be. So there is need for us to get to the people, and in the course of traversing all these communities, you have first-hand information and first-hand knowledge of the situation on ground. So, and it gives a lot of people that sense of belonging, that sense of involvement, that sense of recognition. That's actually what is happening. So what we are doing now is more impactful. We are penetrating greater than we used to do. We are getting better feedbacks, and it's increasing our chances of winning the election. So this is different. The town hall meeting is just a fantastic one. It's a fantastic innovation from us, and we think it's good because that is how it's actually done in the Western world, where the democracy we are practicing came from. So we keep innovating, we keep improving, we keep diversifying.
Okay, part of your tours and campaigns, your group, the Dr. Alex Otti Campaign Organization, we've seen have interacted with some professional organizations. They have interacted with the NBA, they've interacted with the Medical Doctors Organization, they have interacted with businessmen and women in Abia. Can we understand what exactly, why did you have to do that? I don't know, part of the Abia people, why do you have to interact with those special groups?
Okay, what we are doing covers all stratas of the society. These people are critical stakeholders, doctors, lawyers, captains of industries, businessmen, about business community and all the rest of them. These are critical stakeholders. For example, the interactive session Dr. Alex Otti had with the MPA in Abia was very rewarding, because some of them there, or most of them there, who had not had the opportunity to see him, who had not had the opportunity to meet with him or to listen to him, it was a golden opportunity. And most of them wished they had met him before then. We are talking about what is verifiable. The reactions were just massive. The acceptance was just huge, because he stood for us, speaking to them, discussing the challenges of Abia, discussing the economy of Abia, discussing his plans and programs for the state, and proffering solutions that are realistic. So most of them paid attention to what he said, and they were so excited that they have a governorship candidate who is loaded, who has his programs at the tip of his finger. So most of them were very happy. There was no comparison. There's no comparison. We know a few other candidates had gone, but the truth is that go and ask them questions. They will tell you that Alex Otti was just he's on a world of his own. He was just excellent, and we're not trying to pour undeserved encomium. But the truth is that outing was fantastic, because he was able to break it down. The challenges confronting the state, what he wants to do, discuss the economy, broke it down the way everybody understood, and they were magneted. For hours they were listening to him, and so we had met with different groups, landlords association, and we knew the same thing was replicated. This landlord association know that they are one of the biggest victims of bad governance. Why do I say so? Assuming this property belongs to you, and there is no infrastructure, there is insecurity, there is poverty, huge poverty in the land, the chances that this property will appreciate will remain slim. But if this place is upgraded, if it is how it bears the true status of a city, of a modern capital, the value of this property will appreciate with so much speed. So the Abia Landlord Association, most of them have been victims of bad governance. For example, if you go to a place like Orata, you go to Port Harcourt Road, Obohia, many parts of Ngwa Road, some of them are cut off. And the more they are cut off, the more the value of their property continue to depreciate. And some of them have also been victims of illegal demolition without compensation. And so Alex Otti has pledged to ensure that everybody, anyone whose property was illegally demolished, is compensated. He said he would never support illegal construction of any kind. But that government, first and foremost, you are the regulatory agency. If you want to, for example, you want to demolish a property that it's illegal, first and foremost, you have to trace it to what led to the construction of an illegal property or illegal building or whatever, where it shouldn't be. First of all, you have to trace it. Then if you are demolishing somebody's property, a property you know that was properly built and for maybe public need, because when government has the right, especially properties that have CFO, when you have the right, government has the right to take it, and it's only when it is for public interest. You don't just wake up, you want to build a kilometer road, and you know that the road, the wideness of the road does not encroach, or sorry, the building there does not encroach in the road, and you go to somewhere like Port Harcourt Road. It's a clear example where people's houses were demolished, and if you go there as we speak, you find out that most of the houses that were demolished did not in any way encroach in the roads, did not in any way affect the master plan, but they were just demolished, no compensation, nothing happened. And if you go there today, you still see that they are still standing. I mean, after the demolition, the rubbles are still there, and they are not in any way near the roads. So as what is saying, this should not happen, because there are some of these landlords who have those properties as their retirement benefit. After toiling, after working all the rest of their life, after doing their business in retirement, that is what they are using the rents for survival, and now you come and demolish them. So he has interacted, and these people are eager to identify with him because they believe that he's coming to right the wrong of the present government.
Oh, okay. One of the also people that Dr. Alex Otti interacted with on the course of his interaction in Abia is also the Abia business community.
Yes.
And we heard that they laid so many complaints, which including double taxation and other issues.
Sure.
So what are the ways Dr. Alex Otti has assured them is going to tackle most of those issues, including infrastructural issues?
First and foremost, his policies are very clear, because if you go to his manifesto, you identify what he wants to do. For example, in Abia, he talked about having Ministry of Abia.
Yes.
Okay, and he will have a commissioner, a grounded commissioner that will be in charge of the ministry. He talked about rebuilding infrastructure in Abia. That whatever you want to do in Abia, without first of all going back to the foundation, trying to overhaul the infrastructural situation there, then you'll be wasting your time. So he has made it clear that by investing massively in infrastructure, the businessmen and women, you will begin to have investors coming to invest in Abia. Most of them that are doing businesses will begin to, record huge profits in their businesses. But above all, you mentioned double taxation, which is a key challenge. For example, we tell you that if you talk about ease of doing business, Abia is 32 out of the 36 states of the Federation. Ease of doing business. That's like friendly atmosphere. You talk about friendly atmosphere, good business environment. So Abia is down the bottom. It's at the bottom, down the ladder. So what that implies is that if you have money and you want to, for example, you're an investor, you're an industrialist, you first of all begin to think in the direction of states that are conducive, states that are business friendly, states that are willing to welcome your investment. So Abia is down the ladder. It is not something we like to broadcast because it's an embarrassment and it shouldn't be. So what Alex Otti, one of the ways to reduce drastically this below the par rating in ease of doing business is by stopping double taxation. How do you stop double taxation? You need to sanitize your method of revenue collection. You need to engage experts. You need to do away with the use of touts and hoodlums for revenue collections. And once you begin to do this, you will see sanity will gradually return. And then you like I mentioned infrastructure before, you need to invest. You need to give people reason to pay tax. Alex Otti has on his own defined tax as government's share of the prosperity it has created among its populace. So he said that if you have not created prosperity, then you have no right to ask people to pay tax. So there are measures he wants to take first and foremost to set the platform to ensure that the economy is alive. Before you expect people to pay tax, it's just like in Abia here. You are not paying salaries. You are not paying pension. There are a lot of business people here. You have a restaurant here that is doing well. If people were being paid, workers were being paid, if at the moment you are recording, let's say 10 naira profit, maybe you would have been recording 30 naira profit. Because the only person that can patronize you is the person that has money. And that is why Alex Otti keeps talking about velocity of money. He says that the economy works with money, and government must be ready, must at all times consider it a well economic policy to ensure that there is money in the hands of the people. Now, when you do not allow money to circulate, when you do not pay people for work they've done, that you are denying them that opportunity to participate in the economy.
Okay, yes, Ferdinand, if I allow you to talk about these things, you actually elaborate and talk so much. But then, we are still on this issue. The elections are a few weeks away. The gubernatorial election is about 4 weeks or 5 weeks away. So we don't have so much time. So, if you were to tell Abia people, before we look into other issues, what are those three key areas where you think Dr. Alex Otti is set to create so much impact that will turn around the tide in Abia?
Industrialization is one. Health, two. And above all, education. That is the foundation of the society. That is the foundation of the society. Because even without education, the issue of health will become non-existent. Without education, the ability, the capability, the capacity to initiate policies that will impact the economy will not exist. That is the truth. So, industrialization. For example, we have had governors in the past. Okay? We have had governors in the past, I mean, even prior to the creation of states, when we were in region, you know, the defunct Eastern region, led by Dr. M.I. Okpara. How did he run the economy of this place? How did he feed the people of the defunct Eastern region? Okay? How did he do it? It was through agriculture. Through agriculture. We weren't any oil. We had no oil. Nobody depended on oil. But he was able to achieve agricultural revolution to feed the people of the defunct Eastern region. So why are we not looking in the direction of agriculture again? Again, we had industries littered in Abia. We had everything. Those companies, those industries are today, they've disappeared. They don't exist. It's not as if they are underperforming. They don't exist again. So Alex Otti says, for you to talk about building an economy, you must look in the direction of industrialization. And when you begin to, that you will do it as an intentional policy to lift this state.
Industrialization.
Industrialization, very important. Because without industrialization, there won't be job. There won't be job creation.
In that area of industrialization, there is something that Dr. Alex Otti keeps talking about. He made this statement somewhere. He said that that people have said that government have no business in business, but that he disagrees with them.
Yes.
That his government will have business in establishing businesses.
Exactly.
Why, as a mouthpiece of a spokesperson of Dr. Alex Otti, why do you think that position has been very strong in his articulation of this while?
Okay. That is why I go back to industrialization. For example, if you look at the United States of America, there are many companies that exist today. I mean, companies that don't belong to government. The government support them at all times. Because as a government, what are you doing? You cannot provide jobs for all these people. All you need to do, that is why I talk about enabling environment. Create the foundation, create the enabling environment. When there are economic challenges, because government deals more with policies and programs, policies that will impact. And that's why in times of recession, you see government gives stimulus to companies to ensure that they are not grounded. General Motors and all the rest of them. It happened in the United States of America. During that time of COVID-19, there were a lot of companies got stimulus packages because the government wanted them.
In Nigeria. Because
government wanted them to remain, in existence, to remain active, to remain productive. What Alex Otti wants to do here is to lay the foundation. That is the essence of talking about industrialization, infrastructure. If you build an infrastructure, massive turnaround in our infrastructure. If you look at Tomaya, for example, there is a kind of atmosphere that you create here, the kind of investment you pump in infrastructure here, open up the city. You will see factories, you will see lounges, you see a lot of things coming up here. People will want to come and invest. This place will become very lively. Not the type you see by 7, 8 p.m. everybody has disappeared. It should be so. What he's saying is that he will show the way. That is what he's saying. That, but he's talking about government, that his own government will have business in business. Because now his own will be to support the private sector. Support the private sector. And that is the business he's talking about. He's not saying, I'm going to build maybe 10 industries or 100 industries just like a private person and be running all of them. No. You would show great example. The government, his own government will build industries. Partner with the private sector for the purpose of running.
Okay, we are on the same program, Time Out with Dr. Alex Otti's team. This is where we discuss the plans, policies, and ideas of Dr. Alex Otti. Dr. Alex Otti is the gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party in Abia State. And I still have with me in the studio Mr. Ferdinand Dekoma, the spokesperson of Dr. Alex Otti's campaign organization. So we are still discussing. He's still in the studio. And then let me ask him another question. Recently, your principal has also been enjoying some forms of endorsements. Not just endorsements, people are supporting the campaign with even vehicles. And the recent one endorsement is from the Apostle Chibuzo, if I'm right. Chibuzo Chinyere of the popular OPM in Port Harcourt. This man has been known for doing a lot of charity. His charity, for me, is exceptional. It's something that people have commended. He has sent a lot of people abroad. Even a lot of people from Abia have enjoyed the benefit of his goodwill and has endorsed your principal. Did your principal bribe him?
Don't you think he's too big to be bribed? Assuming that he's too big to be bribed, but above all, he is a man of God. And not because he endorsed that exotic, but because he had consistently demonstrated that he's indeed a man of God on service, to humanity. Just like you mentioned. And of course, it's public knowledge what he has done. His philanthropic activities are just massive, are just inspiring. That is how it should be. Somebody who has the desire to give, not to take. The desire to give at all times, and he will never lack. Because he has lifted a lot of poor people, a lot of less privileged people, a lot of widows, a lot of helpless youths, taking them abroad, turn their lives around. That is how it should be. And you see, the truth is this. We are saying this with every sense of humility, that all men of goodwill in Abia and beyond are queuing behind Alex Otti. A lot of men of God are seeing the vision. We are not talking about people who are coming and we have seen vision and want to gather money from you. No, we are talking about genuine men of God from all nooks and crannies of Abia and beyond. They are foreseeing what is happening, going to happen come March. They are announcing it. It's been announced on different altars that Alex Otti is going to become the governor of Abia. And the time is right. We are happy But we're not surprised, because such a man of God must be led in the spirit to identify what is right for his state. And he identified Alex Otti as the best man for the job. He said it. I have PDP people, I have APC people, I have Abia people. He said I have people from different political parties. But his is the man, Alex Otti, that is going to turn things around for Abia. He's the man that is going to wipe the tears of Abia people. And he openly, this one is not behind the scene endorsement. Public endorsement. Public endorsement. And we're happy, just a few days ago, he was honored with the Humanitarian Icon Service Award by the Sun newspaper. So, that is a testimony to what the man is doing. And so we're excited that he endorsed that. He's an Abian, first and foremost. He's an Abian.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know he's from Abia.
He's an Abian.
He's from Okwa. Oh, which side of Okwa again?
Well, I'm not sure whether it's...
But he's from Okwa, either from east or
yes.
or west.
Yeah.
Okwa, so that's where he's from.
And that is what we expect from other independent-minded, highly placed, exposed, civilized, educated, informed Abians to do. Don't hide your cocoons. Don't disconnect yourself. Don't do as if you open your mouth to say, let the right thing be done in my state, anybody will kill you. Who will kill you? Does the state belong to the person? You are inferiors. You can't surrender to your inferiors. And that's what we are saying. Let Abians, men of goodwill, come out and identify that if the state is good, it's good for everybody. That is the truth. It is good for everybody, because when you look at what everybody now makes reference to Ebonyi State because of what is happening in Ebonyi. People are not tomorrow. Umanyi's tenure will come to an end. People will be trooping to Ebonyi. Whoever is coming, by the grace of God, I will hope that somebody that will have vision. The person will want to build on the legacies, on the massive achievements of Dave Mahi. That is how it should be, and that's what we want in Abia. I'm not saying it must be me. It must not be Mr. A or B. That is what Alex Otti has continued to say. It must not be me as governor. That after all, if these people had done well, he may not even have any reason to say he's aspiring. That is the truth. Because when you look at the governorship aspiration, governorship contest, the tedious exercise, the engagements, how many months now Alex Otti has been on the move? Every day. In the morning, by 8 a.m., 9 a.m., the man will leave his house. And before leaving the house, he must have had the countless number of visitors. We've been back on campaign, traversing the very terrible road network we have here. The day we went to Okwa, it was hellish. Because to transfer to Okwa was a problem, because there's no road, there's absolute collapse in infrastructure. So you think that a man, an accomplished man like that, who could have just, decided to relax and enjoy his retirement and be happy, enjoy himself the rest of his life, he could have decided to stay away from Abia. He won't have anything to lose. But he decided to bear this burden. It is very stressful.
Okay, let us we are still discussing also the campaigns. We have looked at the endorsement. We're still discussing the campaigns. And Dr. Alex Otti's campaign train has moved and got into Okwa, local government area, both the east and west. And just like you confessed now, the roads are very terrible. And Dr. Alex Otti has some key supporters from Okwa. What has he promised to Okwa people?
He has promised to massively develop Okwa. You know of the Ogwe, what do you call it?
The Ogwe farm.
The Ogwe farm. You know of our Sopadek, Abia State Oil Development Agency.
I think you made a critical statement there. That's going to move the headquarters to Okwa.
You understand? They have plantations, they have all kinds of things, begging for the development. They have resources. So he made mention of seaports. That when people are talking about dry ports, you understand? If you are talking about dry port, you build dry port, you need to move goods from seaport before moving to dry ports so that since Okwa is close to the sea, why don't we talk about building seaports in Okwa? These are some of the things he's talking about. This is his vision. These are his plans and programs. So he said he will invest massively in infrastructure in Okwa, revive their moribund industries. So,
but the palm, you have this prominent palm plantation.
But yes, now, very well, he specifically mentioned it. The Abia Palm. He specifically mentioned it. That what he would do will shock everybody there. Because those who have experimented, people who came from Malaysia and took the palm seedling from here, it was from Abia here. They took it and went to their own country. Look at what they are enjoying. Massive economic boom. So he says he will turn the fortunes of around. And that is, it's not rocket science. Because they have the human and material resources to achieve that. And that they cannot be an oil producing state. That Abia is in the map as an oil producing state is because of Okwa West. And now you are stealing that oil because that's what they're doing. If you go there, there's no other explanation as to why Okwa is like that. Because there are 13% oil derivation fund. You can see it anywhere. There is no road, there's no water, there's no electricity, there's no school. Their own children who are pensioners who have earned, worked and retired from Abia State Civil Service are not paid. That day we had, I think, about 168 pensioners who sat in a hall waiting for us to speak to them. And so they addressed them. They told us how many number of their members that have died. That late last year, we went there, that was in either November or December. They told us the number of their members that had died. That is very terrible. So Alex Otti promised to wipe their tears, including the pensioners. And so Okwa people, that is why they don't have any reason. They don't have any reason not to vote for Alex Otti.
Okay, there have been some talking issues on some of his promises. One of the promise is the issue of a train, which is part of one of the projects Dr. Alex Otti is eyeing if he becomes the governor. Another one is the seaport. And people have been wondering, considering the finances of Abia State, where is he going to get the funds to embark on these very high capital-intensive projects?
Okay, light rail anyway.
Light rail, yes.
Is what he's talking about.
Light rail, yes.
And there are people who are ready to partner with you. Because when you look at some of these things, none is even easy. Even road construction, all you need, none is easy. Everything is easy and everything is difficult. It depends on your mindset. It depends on your contacts. It depends on your capacity. It depends on your vision. The most important thing is this. He has ideas of what he wants to do. Let me draw an inspiration from his health, the medical village inspiration. You know, he said he would build a medical village.
Yes, a medical village, yes.
And that medical village, beyond providing opportunity for effective health services people, beyond providing the platform for our people to access good Medicare, the intent is also to create revenue for the state.
Yes.
Because he made mention of medical tourism, which Nigerians embark on annually, and that medical tourism costs Nigeria $1.6 billion annually. So, and he says that by the time he would have built the medical village, because the way he wants to do it, you have everything there. He said you will have churches, you have school, you have a stadium, you will have hotels around the environment, you have estates and all the rest of it. You will know this is a community, a standard, a modern community of its own, medical village. So you can access, you have helipads where helicopters can land in times of emergency that is needed. So when you be there, and he says his target is to take 10% of the annual $1.6 billion revenue we are being wasted on medical tourism.
That's already about $1.6 million US.
No, that's 160.
$160 million US.
That's 10% of $1.6 billion is 160 million. And $160 million is not here. So that funds alone, you know what you can use it to execute? A lot of capital projects that will impact on the lives of the people. So this is like using the left hand to watch the right hand, using the right hand to watch the left hand. That is what Alex Otti wants to do. There are other many avenues. Remember, don't forget that this is a field he's grounded, a field of finance. He's a financial expert. You can equally get foreign donors, agencies who can collaborate with you to execute these projects. There are companies with his experience, with his knowledge, with his network of contact. It's easy. There are people who can go and get a loan of 20 million that will be given at a 20% interest rate. But Alex Otti can go and get it at 3% or 2%. He can. And you use it and execute these projects in record time and be able to recoup and pay back.
Okay, just like we have I've told you we are speaking with Mr. Ferdinand Ekoma, the spokesperson of Dr. Alex Otti's campaign organization, and we have reviewed a lot of things and we'll still review more. So let us go to your presidential candidate, Peter Obi, who recently visited Abia State. He visited Aba. He had a street campaign rally on the streets of Aba, and he visited Umuahia. He had a time with the traditional rulers and also had an interactive session at the International Conference Center in Umuahia. And I know you are one of the key players during that period. Give us an insight. How was it? How did it go? How was the fun fair? And what were the expectations? What happened? Did it give you more expectation? Did your hope increase? How did it go?
It went very well. It went very, very well. And as you would expect, this is the most loved man in Nigeria today, Mr. B2B. The most expected man. Everybody is expecting him to emerge. Everybody is expecting him to come and wipe the tears of Nigerians. So if we were in a cedar climb, people will go to sleep knowing that this man is already a president-elect. So as you would expect, our people trooped out in the large numbers to receive Mr. PDP. You know, prior to the cancellation of the previous, arrangements, it was supposed to be a rally to be done at the Umuahia Township Stadium, but it was postponed and now rescheduled and turned to a town hall meeting. So we had the schedules that he would arrive, proceed to Abia, where he will hold the town hall meeting and then come to Umuahia. So that day he arrived on time as expected. You know, he keeps to time. And now he was supposed to drive straight to Abba Sports Club, where he would engage the Abba business community, captains of industry, and all the rest of them, and address them. But by the time, because he drove, you know, his plane landed at Sambekwe Airport. Initially, they wanted to chopper to Abba. And so he said no advice. I told him just a short distance. Yeah, he was happy, accepted to drive in a convoy. So they drove in a convoy. So on getting to Abba, of course, Abba people already knew it was the Great Okwute that was coming and barricaded his convoy. So he now continued with the street show, the road show, came out and was waving and speaking to the people. People were crying, shouting, praying. You know, it was just a spectacle. It was a beautiful spectacle to behold. They were excited that the man that is coming to write their checkered history was in town. They showed love, they showed support, they showed solidarity. Passion was evaporating, and we're happy about it. So from there, he later went. In fact, before he would get to Abba town hall, so what do you call it, Abba Sports Club, a lot of youth, the people who were following him now, knew he was not coming. All of them ran in the hundreds, ran into the
hall,
to the venue of the destiny everywhere. In fact, they had to start begging them to come out, please. That because most of the seats have been reserved, a lot of people, the people that were supposed to be there, the seats have been reserved for them. So, and they obeyed. We were told, in fact, they
are obediently obeyed.
Because they are very obedient and they obediently obeyed without any nothing. It was just, they were just excited. They were just expressing their excitement that Obi was in town. So they came out. The town hall meeting went very well. Okwute spoke eloquently. He spoke very well, told the people his plans, his programs for Nigerians, made them to understand the country is in a shambolic state, and this is the time to do it. You know, so reminded about people that Abba of today is a ghost of what it should be. He emphatically put it that way. That Abba of today is a ghost of what it should be, and his government will change the narrative, will change the story. And that is the truth. And the same thing Alex Otti has been saying. And of course, Alex Otti spoke briefly before introducing him to address his people. I made it clear that our industries have gone. And those industries were built by human beings. And it's human beings, people who are normal, people who know the needs of the people who are prepared, that are going to do it. And of course, it's Alex Otti that is going to do it. So the people were excited. They were happy to receive P2B. They were happy to receive Alex Otti. And don't forget, we had been there on a town hall meeting before this visit, and they impressed us. It was fantastic the day we went there. It was something else, because those Abia businessmen and those respected industrialists were just excited. The day Alex Otti, everywhere was calm when Alex Otti was talking facts, verifiable facts, talking what is realistic, because these things can be done. That is the truth. It has been done in the past by human beings, and nobody should make me to believe that those type of human beings that did it, the likes of Okpara and Mbakwe, are no longer in existence. And they are in existence here. It's unfortunate that our political system has been desecrated, contaminated, dominated, by people who should have no business nearing governance, who should have no business with public office. So it now looks as if those people don't exist, and it is the people like P2B, Alex Otti, and the rest of them that are staging a comeback to reclaim what belongs to our people.
Okay, that's
the town hall also continued.
Yes.
In Umuahia, because immediately after the Abia event, he flew down to Umuahia, aboard his chopper, and before then his wife had also flown into Umuahia in company of Mrs. Priscilla Otti. They were at the Mater Dei Cathedral where they addressed Abia women. Okay, so while Okute, Mr. P2B and Alex Otti went straight to meet with the traditional rulers, the chambers interacted with them for over an hour. After meeting with them, they now proceeded to the International Conference Center where thousands of youths had already barricaded the place. And it was a fantastic outing. And in the course of his interaction with the people, Obi made it very clear, just like he has always done, that he's not contesting because he's an Igbo man. He's not contesting because he believes it's the turn of Igbo or he's right to contest. No. He's doing it so because he understands the problem of the country, the challenges of the country, and he believes he's the best candidate. He has knowledge of the problems ravaging the country, and he's willing and capable to tackle the problems. So that is the reason why he's contesting, and ask everybody to support him. That is need for us to. That the only thing that is not scarce in the country at the moment is insecurity. Every other thing is scarce. Naira is scarce. Fuel is scarce. Job is scarce, but insecurity is available.
Yes, I must say that indeed everything is scarce. To get fuel now is terrible. Maya here, we now buy fuel for 450 naira a liter. Yeah. And we also go out to buy money, because for you to be able to run your business, you need to go and buy money. To this morning, I had to buy 50,000 for 6,000 naira. Just imagine, the overhead cost of businesses are increasing by the day. So for me, I'm calling on Nigerians and Abians to go get your PVC and get ready for this election and vote your conscience. Look for all the candidates, assess them, and decide where to vote for. Vote for a candidate that has the capacity to change the tides, that has the capacity to add value on the life of the people. So let's keep discussing our discussion. You have been, your campaign team have been driving around Abia State, visiting various local governments. You just said that it's just few that you've not been able to cover for now. So if you have covered about 80% of local governments, this election of 2023, we have a lot of candidates, we have a lot of parties that look strong. We have the PDP who are the incumbent, we have ABGA, we have Labour, we have YPP, we have even ADC, we have so many other parties. Based on your own assessment, do you think your party has a chance, Dr. Alex Otti has a chance to win Abia State and take up the saddle of leadership to move the state forward?
Well, we say it with all sense of humility, that even our opponents know we have the brightest chance of winning the election. And the reasons are very simple. We have our candidate is the best candidate. Our candidate is the most visible. Our candidate has been the most consistent. He has been the most vocal. He has been the most courageous. He has shown clearly that he is prepared for the job. He has been here since 2014. And after the election, in spite of all that transpired in 2015, he could have stayed away has a lot of engagements, he has a lot of businesses. He said it is important that I state it here, that he is not a politician, but an interventionist. So you can call him a politician on intervention, politician in parentheses. So the people know that he is the best man for the job. If somebody says he wants to govern you, he should tell you why he wants to govern you. And he should tell you how he wants to do it. And like something has been here, voluntarily left his plum job and said, I want to come and redeem this state. If he was just coming to answer a politician, to answer a public office holder, when the atrocity of 2015 happened, what he would have done was to realign and join the people he came here to dislodge. That's what he would have done. He could have also been going to look for appointments in one place or another, and definitely he would have gotten sales. He could have accepted the offers that were being made, crazy offers that were being made by those who stole his mandate. Crazy offers were being made. That is the truth. Let them go and swear they didn't. Crazy offers, running into billions, were made. They sent all kinds of delegations. He called it a bluff. So you see, when some people try to, sometimes because we have so conditioned our minds to tolerate whatever anybody says. But the truth is that we are proud to say that Alex Otti will dimper, because it's not everybody that will do it. God their bluff, resisted them, continued to, and there is a way God rewards people. When God searches through your mind, knows how sincere you are about a particular cause. We're not telling you Alex Otti is a saint, for Christ's sake. I'm not telling you that. But we're telling you that he is very sincere about this project, has shown consistency, has shown tenacity. And it's not something you see every day. That is why we are confident that God will reward him with the victory, because he knows what he's coming to do. If it's all about money, the man would have disappeared since. It's not about money. It's about what he's bringing to the temple. It's about the humiliation, and that is his position. That is about the embarrassment Abians suffer outside here. He said there's somebody like you go to a function, then people will ask you, "Nah, you hear me? Can you name in a state too now? Give me a intro. You introduce yourself as an Abian. They will say, sorry, what is happening in your state?" People will be pitying you. Why should we be in a pitiable situation? Why should our situation look so pathetic that people are pitying us when we have illustrious sons and daughters out there who can step out and turn this nonsense tide? So we know that Alex Otti stands the best chance. The support he's getting is massive. People are aligning. In the next few days, you will see the kind of realignment. A lot of people are joining. A lot of people are collaborating, because it is becoming clearer by the day that he will win the election. So those who are packing billions to buy votes, of course, some of them are already getting frustrated from the national level. You see the people who are complaining. We understand the scarcity of money is a problem. You understand? But then the cashless policy, a fantastic policy, like our presidential candidate has stated. But all that needs to be done is for federal central bank and federal government to descend on banks that are indulging in sharp practices to stop them and ensure that there is hitch-free transaction. People who want to do withdrawal, if it's 20,000 that is the limit, people must have access to 20,000 naira. When you finish, you can go for another one. Where you need to do, of course, huge transactions actually require transfers. That is the truth. So the problem here is not even the policy. Okay? It's not the policy, but the implementation. So everybody knows that Alex Otti is the best candidate. So those who have planned to steal, who have stolen our billions and are planning to come and use the money, they will succeed. And nobody will give you money to come to any unit to buy votes. You will not. We are urging our people, when the time comes, they will grab you, snatch the money from you. Because nobody, you can't steal our money. Our pensioners can be, going to their early graves because of you, and the money you have denied them, you want to use them to come and buy vote to kill more people. We will not allow you.
Okay, let us look also into, we are rounding up from this our discussion, and we have just two issues to look at. Recently, the PDP gubernatorial candidate for Abia State, Professor Uche Kunne, died. That was a painful one, and everybody really was touched. And they have also subsequently elected in their primary another candidate of OK Ahiwe, who is now the new gubernatorial candidate of the PDP in Abia State. Your party stands down their campaign for some days because of the death of Ikonne, and today they have elected another candidate to also fly their flag. What do you have to say concerning it?
Actually sick, so they continued to deny. I remember a particular commissioner appeared on radio and said just about a week, a little over a week before the man passed on, to say that the man was not sick. The man is on his vacation, enjoying himself. It was just ridiculous. But then, when the governor later appeared on air to admit that the late Professor Ikonne was sick, that was what prompted that release we issued, praying for him, praying for quick recovery and return to the campaign trail. That has always been our pattern. That has always been our style. We have never put our political interests ahead of lives and property. We have never done so. So that was why we genuinely prayed for Professor Ikonne, just like we did when Governor Kesikbazo was sick. We had prayed that he will recover and return to the campaign trail. Wished him quick recovery. I know a lot of PDP people that called me at that point. They were so excited because we knew some candidates, especially a particular candidate from that axis, who was praying for the man to die, thinking that if the man died, he would now inherit his votes. That's vicious. That's very vicious. That's wickedness at its peak. Unfortunately, the Prof passed on just little over a week after we issued that press release. He died, and it's a very painful one, because we know what life is. We know how painful the devastation death can bring, especially a man who was already going to be on the ballot, who was already had people who have dreams and all the rest of them. In as much as we would have warned him, of course we believed in him, but we never disparaged him when he was alive. We never caused suspicion. The only thing we said, we would not allow that imposition that was going to continue, and that was our position. Everyone said if he would have defeated him, because the man that brought him has performed very woefully. And now, in replacing the late Prof, we were aware that a few credible candidates came out to take part in the PDP primaries. A few, or two or three of them, a few persons there that are very credible came out. I mean those who bought forms. But they were blocked. They were not. Some of them were not allowed to take part in free and fair primaries. Some of them, nobody looked in that direction, and they choose this person. They choose him. Whichever way they choose him, we are happy and we are very thankful to them. We are very thankful to them because we know that even comparing the person they have chosen with Professor Ikonne is like comparing. Well, do I say? Well, I don't know the direction. It's like comparing Nigeria and the United States of America.
Are you saying Professor Ikonne is far better than the president?
Of course, he is far better, far better, far better.
Why will you say that?
Because Professor Ikonne carried little baggage. You understand? We know the areas he felt, but we are not going to discuss them. But you see, Abia, you can't use Abia to trade. We know. We're going to the election now. We are going to the campaign, a fool, and we will engage. It's an insult. PDP is insulting. If they think the Abians are blind and deaf, they don't know the history of everyone, they don't know the trajectory of every candidate, we are happy. We are happy because we speak to Abians. They should also speak to Abians about our own candidate. And we'll take them to task and ask them why they think Abia has gone down to that level where it can be handed over to anyone. By the special grace of God, We will defeat their candidate, and we will end that era of impunity. We will end that era of plundering, era of destruction. We will begin to rebuild the state the way it will be beneficial to everyone, including those who have been responsible for the destruction. And that's why Alex Otti said that by the time he would finish dealing with these people with his performance, they will become ashamed of themselves. So they fear that's why he says he thinks he's coming to fight anybody physically, to pursue anybody. And he won't have time for that. It is his performance that will shut them up. The performance will disgrace them. They will know that have been, very clownish in what they have been doing here in Abia. So we have the best candidate, and we are happy that the PDP choose who they have chosen, because it's no match to Alex Otti. Governance is such a serious business, such a very serious business.
Yeah.
Governance has to do with the welfare of the people, and it cannot be handed over to anyhow persons.
Thank you very much, Ferdinand Dekoma, spokesperson to the Dr. Alex Otti campaign organization. On a final note, on behalf of your principal, will he participate in the Abia State election debates, which is coming up on the 15th of this month?
I hope people have updated them.
Will he participate? He has been somebody who is engaging.
Yeah, of course, he's always available to participate in debates. In debates give you the opportunity to speak to your people. Debates give you just like we are doing these town hall meetings and all the rest of them. The town hall meetings provide him with the platform to speak to the people directly, tell them what he wants to do, how he wants to do, why he wants to do them, those things he wants to do. So the debate will also provide him the opportunity to speak to Abians, itemize his plans and programs, unfold his policies.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We want to appreciate the campaign organization of Dr. Alex Otti for these interactions, which has been wonderful. And we also encourage other campaign organizations to come forward for more interactions with them, also to put out what they want to do for Abians, and also make Abians know the ideas and policies and plans, and including look into their manifesto. I had with me in the studio throughout this period Mr. Ferdinand Dekoma, the spokesperson of Dr. Alex Otti's campaign organization, on the show Time Out with Dr. Alex Otti's team. Thank you very much. Keep sharing our content and keep commenting and follow us on all our social media handles. Thank you and God bless.
Mazi.